If you guys are sitting for more than 8 hours a day, you're going to want to stop scrolling and pay attention to this video. So look, we've all heard that sitting is the new smoking. That study came out a couple years ago, but no one really knows why they even said that. And here's the reality of it. We don't even know what's happening to the body. So when we sit for 8 hours a day, there's a couple things we need to pay attention to. Unfortunately, we're all sitting nowadays, right? These computers are taking over everything. We're in front of them constantly. Kids in school are sitting at their desks all day long. We don't get them up and moving quite a bit. So what is that actually doing from a physiological standpoint to the low back? And there's a couple things we need to pay attention to. 3 things that I really focus on when we have patients that come into the office that say, hey, look, I have an office job. I'm sitting at a desk all day long. The first thing is lumbar curve. So when we look at the low back from the side and we take an x-ray, you should have a smooth C-shaped curve in that low back. The problem is when we sit down, we get lazy and we drop that way. So what you're doing is actually taking that curve from the C-shape and starting to straighten it out. Here's the issue with that. When you start to straighten out that low back, what you're doing is creating more axial force straight down through all of those discs in the low back. So primarily where we see the most common injuries here are L4, L5, L5S1, which is sitting right in that lower part of that waistband type area. So if you're sitting in your desk right now and you're going, that kind of hurts right where I'm feeling it right now, most likely that's what's starting to happen to you, which is exactly why we take x-rays in the clinic. The 2 other things that happen is all of your muscles are starting to shorten and tighten, right? Think about it. If you're stuck in a position like this for 8 hours a day, where everything's shortened up, everything's tight, and we don't get up and move a lot, we know that over time, those muscles are going to start to inhibit and they're going to start to tighten up on us. That's why you'll see patients at times, they go to stand up out of a chair and they're like, oh, I just feel like I need to take a couple steps and get moving. That's 2 things. 1, we know that the disc is having a lot of pressure on it. So when you stand up and that disc loads even more, it's going to let you know. But 2, you got to start to stretch and open up those muscles before you can really get moving. So am I hitting any points that you've been dealing with so far? The third thing that you need to pay attention to is the nervous system is just going to start to calm down. If you're stuck in this position like this all day long, not moving, just typing away at that computer, the brain's going to think, hey, look, there's really not a lot going on right now. I don't have to make these muscles fire. And that's when you start to hear patients say, oh, I feel like my core's gotten weak, doc. I'm not as strong as I used to be. I can't stabilize, stuff like that. It's because we got to get you up and we got to get you moving. So one of the biggest rules that I tell patients is the 30-30. So if you sit for 30 minutes, I want you to get up for 30 seconds and start moving, okay? It's as simple as that. We just got to get you moving a little bit more. That can be as simple as taking a walk around the office, going outside, taking a quick 30-second walk, depending on how your office is built. But I'm going to make this even easier for you. We got 4 exercises I'm going to show you guys real quick. Follow me out here. So 4 exercises I'm going to show you guys that you guys can do in the office on your own, no equipment, no nothing like that. We're going to keep it pretty easy. So the first one here is Miss Genesis. So remember, you're sitting all day. So we're going to have you stand up and we're going to do what's called glute activations. So glute squeezes. It's as simple as it sounds, right? For obvious reasons, we're not going to zoom in on the area that we're concentrating on right now. But all you're going to do, Genesis is going to stand up from that chair. She's going to squeeze her glutes and hold 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to relax. Squeeze again, hold 1, 2, 3, and then relax. I want you to repeat that 10 reps for 3 sets, okay? Again, the whole purpose behind this is you're sitting down, your glutes are relaxed, they're not contracting the way they're supposed to. So we want you to stand up and get those things firing and woke up to help you stabilize and feel stronger while you're in that chair, all right? Next one. This is going to be more of the seated cat-cow. This is more so think for low back and thoracic spine, all range of motion type stuff. So go ahead, Kenny, and show them what we're gonna do. So you're gonna round yourself out. That's the cat portion. And then you're gonna drop yourself in and fight as much as you can. There's the cow portion. And that's all it is. It's that light back and forth. It should just feel like a good stretch. Here's the deal, guys. With any of these exercises that we're doing, you should not feel pain. If you start to do these and you feel like you're getting worse, I want you to stop right away, okay? So again, with going with that back and forth, back, and then forward is 1. I want 10 reps of that for 3 times. Cool? On to the next one. Here's one of the stretches I want you doing. So you're going to get out of the chair, drop down onto your office floor, and all we're going to do is more of a psoas type stretch. So remember we just talked about in there, when you sit, you shorten up everything right here. We sit on that computer like this. It's pretty good balance on one leg like that, isn't it? See? Like this. So now what we got to do is open up that area. So Liz is going to go into a psoas stretch. And again, I just want you to pump it forward, hold for 30 seconds. You should just feel a big stretch on that thigh into the abdomen a little bit. And then once you get one side stretched out, switch over to the other side. Biggest thing I want you to do is make sure shoulders stay over hips. A lot of times we'll see patients do this, and then you can actually do it the wrong way if you want to, Liz, right? You see people do this. And then now we're just hanging out and chit-chatting. This isn't making us better, is it, Liz? No. So we got to stand upright. And we got to force it through this way. Feel that big stretch right in the front of the hip, okay? 30 seconds, 3 times. I know your computer and your phones all have stopwatches, so don't tell me you can't do that one. All right, last one. Miss Cass is going to show us. So actually, come on over here, face this way. Yep. And then, so this, it's called Brugger's, okay? We can do this a couple different ways. So Cass is going to show you without any equipment. All we're going to do is keeping those arms at 90. Yep, you're actually good. Let me have you face to the right here so we can show them the back. So arms and everything's at 90, and you can see she's just rotating her arms out. So externally rotating here with the focus on squeezing those shoulder blades together, okay? So again, this is gonna help if we're sitting at that computer and we're rounded out like this. This is gonna help with more of the posture of opening up those shoulders, strengthening this posterior chain to make sure that we can handle that desk job a little bit better for more of the long term. If you guys have one, you can always use a band for this, right? So we wanted to show you, if you're at the office, you can't do this. Even with no band, I promise you guys, if you take your time with this and squeeze, you're gonna feel a burn after doing 30 of them, okay? So there you have it, guys. If you are sitting for more than 8 hours a day right now, make sure you do these exercises, start working through them, and I promise you, you're gonna start feeling better today. But if you're dealing with any of that low back pain, sciatica, and you're already like, look, Doc, I've already been at this job for years, I already have the issues, call us at that number below, and we look forward to seeing you on the next video.